Yeah. You're very good at Zoom. This is impressive what you're doing.
Thank you. I've been practicing. Okay, here we are. Hi, I'm Rose Desiano, and this is Professor Josh Miller's class at Kutztown University, and we're here with artist Chika as part of our lecture series of Equity and Awareness in the Visual Arts. We are focusing today on a kind of more specific area of the arts, which is interactive media, sculpture, installation. I'm going to let Chika describe her practice to you rather than me summarizing it briefly. She came to us, she came to us from New York City right now, that's where she is, but she is originally educated in Japan and then relocated to the United States. And she'll speak to us about that transition from coming from another country and another culture and developing an art practice in the United States after that. But she's also going to be speaking about how she's decided to do other projects. She's working on a mapping workshop series right now that's really exciting that she'll speak to at the end. So I don't want to dominate the conversation because we're here for Chika, not for me. And so without further ado, if you want to introduce yourself to the class and also to people watching live, that'd be great. Chika.
Okay, thank you, Rose, for introductions. I'm so excited to show my work. And then I also show my projection mapping workshop series I'm doing for the last 10 years. So let me just start sharing my presentation. So hang on me. All right. So I hope everybody can see it. Rose and Josh, can you see my presentation?
Yes.
Perfect.
Great.
Yep.
So
right.
I'm actually going to turn my sharing screen off so you have your full attention of the class, and then at the end we'll conduct a question and answer period. So I'll be back when you're done. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Rose. All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Chika. So I am an artist, technologist, and a researcher and educator. So I just gotta have this because I need to see what I'm talking about. So how I got here. So I'm a black sheep in my family. So my family lives in the United States. So I came here when I was 18 first time as exchange student. And then I went back a couple years and then came back again. And then the second time I came back, I went back to school in the New York City. I went to a school of visual art. So I just followed my heart and coming to New York. So all my family was against me coming here. Why are you going there? Why are you going to America? America is young country. Why don't you go to Europe instead? So despite of all this against the law, so I came here. So I don't know why, I was young and then I just had an image of America watching TV shows like, free, free, free. So, and when then I came here, it was a little different from I expected, but I stuck since then. So I went to SVA, studied photography. So when I graduated photography, SVA, photography was a little bit hard to get into as a foreigner to get a job. So I started teaching myself as a graphic designer. So what happened was, I studied photography and then I studied computer back then. And I was good at manipulating images using a Photoshop. So that took me to movie poster companies. And then when I started doing movie posters, so like I have actor's face here, actor's face, better faces here, we switch around and they make a movie posters. Sometimes movie doesn't have a big budget, so they use the existing photos and the existing images as a background. So you have to manipulate it, and then you have to create image as high res to input a print to as a poster. So I did that. That took me to graphic design in-house, like Showtime, because it's an entertainment. Movie posters, entertainment, easy to transfer. So when I got hired working for Showtime, I was start doing a lot of projects, and then I learned how to become a graphic designer designer and an art director through the project by project. So my background is photography, and then I learned how to manipulate image. That took me to a graphic design, and then I learned how to become a graphic designer and art director after. So economy hit, and then I lost the job, and then I had a awakening moment. And then I was like, aha, maybe it's time to go back to a school. But before that, I want to show you something. So I went back to graduate school. It's called ITP at NYU. But when I was working as a graphic designer at the Showtime, I was so itchy to do some art. So before ITP, so I became VJ. Do you know VJ? It's a VJ is a live visual video artist, which is I will make live art, projection art behind the musicians. So during my when I was working for Showtime, I did a lot of projection live visual performance with sound artists. So I especially work for 8-bit artists, which is they use the Game Boy. You know, Game Boy has a cassette that is they have especially made for creating a music. So I work with the people people make a music with a Game Boy. So it sounds like animation music, but it's some of them is like a sound like a rock. Some of them sounds like a heavy metal. So I had a big concert. Some of them in Tokyo. Some of the different festivals set up. Some is local. And then I also work with the Bangla music, DJ Reka. She is very famous for focusing on the basement Bangla. It's Indian music. So I did all this stuff when I was working for a company. And then economy hit, and then I had a waking moment, and then maybe it's the time to go back to school. And then I also had a moment, you know, when you're performing, it's a one-way street. You're making a visuals for the people to dance, and then, but it's just like a no communications. Like I will show you my work, and I work with the artist, sound artist, but I don't have any communication with my audience. And then I start have a desire, wanted to have my audience to be part of my work. So that was a big transition. Lost my job, but it's like, it's okay. I'm gonna go back to graduate school. You know, I couldn't become an artist right after the undergrad because I'm a foreigner from Japan. You know, my visa status, I don't know what's gonna happen. You know, I had to get a working visa and then stabilize my visa situation first. So becoming an artist wasn't the first choice. And so I went to work first. But after 10 years of working, I thought like it's a time, you know, I just gonna pursue my dream. And that time I already had a green card, so I didn't have to worry about my visa situation. So I decided to go back to NYU ITP. And then I start, so my passion is always projections. So I start creating like a 3D print pyramid and projection onto the like my visuals. So transfer from the flat surface for the concert setup to the 3D projection onto the 3D-dimensional stuff. So when I was in the school, it's almost like a 10 years ago. And then back then, the projection mapping software wasn't very affordable. I mean, wasn't even out there. So I used the Photoshop to map all these projections. And then this is my thesis. My thesis was dynamic projection mapping, which is this, it's hard to see it, but this is the plates. It moves like origami, you know, flat to like shape something like origami. So I have a servo in the back of the plate. It moves like 360 degrees. So I calculated 0, 90, and 180, and then 270. So all these 4 points, and then what would be a shape looks like, and then calculate it inside the processing, and then a projection onto the 4 images onto this object, and then I just create the illusions. I didn't have a big budget, so like I just create the illusions. And also this one was projection was created by the Photoshop. And after I tested all this, I tried to do something big, but couldn't do it. So it's like, all this, my 2 year of the grad school was like a prototyping, preparing for the next step, and gain the experience, what's right, what's wrong, and it made a lot of mistakes, which actually really helped for going to next level. So after the ITP, I applied lots of like residencies, and luckily, first thing I got was at the NYU, there is a third year as a fellowship. So I was able to get the 10 of 100 students. I was one of them, and then got the third year of the graduate school, and then keep on researching what I wanted to do. So I keep on researching projection mapping. So I was like another extra year to research and make a lot of mistakes and learn from that. And then I did that, and during that time, I applied for the residencies, and then one of them was Eyebeam. Eyebeam is a like technology-based art institutions. It used to be in New York City, but now they moved to Brooklyn. So during the time, I created like small steps. So I like to reach the big goal, but like to get to the big goal, I do a small steps to reach there. So one of the project is called Shikaku. Shikaku means square, but it also means vision or like a blind spot in Japanese. So I play with these words to apply my projection mapping installations. And then I wanted to reveal something you don't see through my artwork. And then I play with the Japanese word. So first things I created was like a big, gigantic, like a paper box, because I didn't have a budget. So like I have to create something I have already. So I cut the cardboard and the projection onto it. And then this is like, I had an idea, wanted to make the digital Zen garden. So I wanted to create the rocks and the waters and whatever to somehow in using a projection mapping technology. So first step was, what I make the box and then projection onto the, it looks like a rock, and then projection onto my visuals. And then it started with 2. And then I started with like, what if I created a bunch of them? So all this duration jumping into the to a bigger project. So I just want to show you some of the projection mapping installation I did in Mexico. This was a long time ago for the map festivals. So this was the first projection mapping I did. It's almost like, I don't know, 12 years ago. in the Mexico City, Mexico, Guadalajara. I just gonna show you other projection mapping. So anyway, this one was, I was in across the street, the artist, sound artist on the other side, and I have to projection mapping onto the building. Communication was very hard. So we used the cell phone, like, you know, which song are you gonna do it? And then like, you know, we practice. And then we couldn't stop the street because the street was a main street in the city. But the great things about Mexico was they were able to, one telephone call, they were able to turn it off the street light. So that was really helpful. So it was a lot of people here. So you see the projection here. So it's like a big one stuck together to make it projection brighter. And then I don't know, you can see this is me underneath. And then my sound artist was across the street. This was kind of the residency I did it at the Metropolitan Museum. A couple projects I did it for them was they asked me to do some projection mapping during the Chinese New Year. So what they want us, what they want me to do was projection onto the entrance ceiling, and then whoever comes to tweet and a hashtag map, they can see fireworks. So if you can click your head like this. So this is the entrance of Met. This is Chinese. They have once a year, they celebrate Chinese New Year around the February. And then on the ceiling, I had a projection mapping. My projection image is here. And whenever whoever tweet about, oh, here is the a Chinese New Year festivals happening at Met, hashtag Met, it's like such shooting. Challenge here was they opened like at 10 o'clock or something. The beginning of the day, they first of all they couldn't close these windows, so there is a lot of light. Projection and a window, it's not a very good pair, right? So we have to figure out what was the best solutions. So beginning of day, I had to do projection onto using all the element has to be white. And then the challenge was not many people was tweeting at the beginning because a lot of families, they are like so busy taking care of kids or getting into the this special day. And then so the team was literally have to like press or like a hashtag like to create the fireworks at the beginning of the day. So we had another setup, you know, whoever hashtag met, their avatar is falling down in the box. So you can see like similar ones like M, this is definitely us. And there's a couple like you can see repeated like hashtag repeated avatars are definitely coming from our team to like make everything active. Yeah. Another thing I did for Met Museum was whoever wish, make a wish from the app, smartphone app, they can see the star over the shooting star over their head. And then they can also learn this star map was related to the Middle Eastern exhibitions. So they can also learn about the regions because the sky is different from where we are here in New York and in the Middle East. So they are totally seeing a different like star on the sky. So after I'm doing a lot of projection mapping work, also technology advanced. So I start doing the LED mapping using videos. So this is my first LED light installations. It's interactive. It was at the Dumbo Festival. So I wanted to create like a star. And then I wanted to create like 5 different sounds, 5 different like light patterns. And then I want people to experience like, different sound with the same shape. So whole idea is I create an environment and the people come and then they will be part of it and then enjoy and then take something with them after. So I use the leap motions and then I use the finger gestures. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 10. So people are very interesting. I never thought till I made this. A lot of people very easy to do 1, 2, 3, or 4, like 5 fingers. Nobody do 8. Nobody do 7. There is like an easy way, 2, 1, 5. So like 3 days of like doing this festival, I kept on hearing the same music, same patterns over and over. So what I learned from this, after this installation, anything introduction, I start making random. I don't make them choose. So like I start creating a moment of the surprise. So you don't know what kind of sounds you will get. And then it was just like a swipe. I don't even ask them to do 1 to 10 fingers. Yeah. Some of the memo I did is Arcadia Earth. This is environmental, like Papa Museum in the New York City, and some of them this was in the LA. I created all my work is a geometric. It's an imitation of the LEDs, but also I like geometries and I like the secret shapes. This is something I did it for New York Hall of Science. So this one was people standing one spot, they were able to see a star shape like this. Once they find a star shape, they can activate this shape. This shape changes 5 different colors based on the Dr. Rice's research. And Dr. Rice is the scientist who researched the looking for the planet or stars is habitable. So color is a temperature. So she researched the temperature of the planet looking for the habitable planet. So this is the part of the educational installation for the New York Hall of Science. New York Hall of Science paired me up with the scientist, Dr. Rice. And then she's looking for habitable planet. And then she told me about like habitable planet is temperature difference tells the habitable planet. So I create this interactive installations. Once people find the star shape, 5 different color appears randomly. And then there is a posters right here and it explain what color is habitable. For example, like a white one is icy. It's cold, so people cannot live. If you activated this shape as a red, too hot, they cannot live. If activated green or orange, it is habitable. So through the playing, finding, they will also learning like what kind of temperature of the planet is habitable or not. This one was also showing at the Expotorium in San Francisco last year. And then every time I do something like one installation going to another place, I upgrade something. In this time I upgraded patterns, and then I also upgrade the camera system. But it was very interesting has happened this one. It works for everybody. So 5 minutes before the show starts, it works for everybody, but not me. And then it could be, I'm always wear black, so camera couldn't see the black clothes. So I changed the white, but they couldn't even see it. And then whenever other people try, it's activated. So sometimes like, installation has no reason why it's not working, but I can't find why. We even called the company makes camera. We call, I know the friend, I have a friend who created light installations, entrance of the MoMA using the same technology. I called him and couldn't figure out why. So somehow the camera reads something and sending a program, and then that programming algorithm I won't fit. So that was the end of the, that's what my friend's programmer said, like probably that's what happened, but who knows. At the expotorium, I also showed this one. This is like Galaxy 02. I showed Arcadia Earth, the larger version of the Galaxy 03. It's in the entrance of the expotorium. So after I'm doing a lot of like LEDs, projection mapping, LEDs, a pandemic happened 2 years ago. And then I had the residency at the Staten Island, not Staten Island, Governor's Island, sorry, Governor's Island. So nobody was allowed to come there. And then we were working in a house, but like not able to show our work to the public, but no public was allowed to come into the island. And then also nobody was able to come into the house we were working as a resident. So that was the awakening moment, especially like I work large installations, interactions, everybody touch, everybody feel like experience my installations. And then, I was like, what's gonna happen, right? So I started thinking about maybe think differently. Instead of people coming to my installation, what if I deliver my art to them? So I start like developing the AR project. So my project was at the Governor's Island. I used the 5 different locations. When people go there, as a prototype, people go there, scan the QR code, and experience my AR installations. And then I combined those to my solo shows last year around this time at the Now Here Gallery. So Now Here Gallery, I had a QR code on the floor with all my light installations. So whenever people come and then scan the QR code, they can see my, just like this, they can see my AR project. AR installation shows up. And then I also push beyond, so they can see some of those. Like I had a five of them installed. You can see QR code on the floor, they can scan, and then the 5 different objects will shows up in front of you. So, and then I push the my project beyond. I make the iPhone app. So this is a New York Now Here Gallery, and I pick 5 my favorite locations. One is Highline, one is 9/11 site, Chinatown, East Village, and then 40 Times Square. So why I choose this? This was like the middle of the pandemic, so I want people to, and the spring was coming, and then I expect the corona is gonna come, a little bit better, and the people start going out. And then I want people to appreciate the what we have in New York. So using the iPhone app, and then this is still active. You can activate it inside of, you can scan, you can go to my website, and then there's a QR code, you can activate it. This is a web-based, so it will jump into your web browser inside your smartphone. So when they go 9/11, this area shows up. And then if you go to Chinatown, this area shows up. And then I want people to create their own art, with the environment. And then I'm very interested in the non-fusion and the fusion combined together. So this is High Line. And this is Times Square. So I make a lot of big stuff, but I also make small light installations. This is not interactive, but I'm obsessed with the circle. So I made a lot of circle art. So M means circle in Japanese. This is Shikaku, different versions. It's interactive. This is Sei. Sei means star. So this one was interesting. This is audio visual. So it means like it lights up according to the sound. I don't have a video here, but so when you're looking at this, your brain remembers the light. And then when you close your eyes and the star shape appears in your brain, like a flashback. So this was interesting. I didn't know that till I finished installing. I start looking at it. I start seeing the shape of the star, especially star here, 3, 2 circles lights up and it stays in your brain. This is another one. Yeah. So Mappathon, this is my workshop series, projection mapping, LED mapping. So Mappathon is inspired by the hackathon. So I created a workshop 1 day or 2 days. I teach everything in 1 or 2 days. And then whoever participated, either a group or single person, they have to deliver the whatever made in the end, and then show and tell in the end. So I will show you some of the artwork my students did. It's like a projection mapping onto the mask. And this is something like this is a workshop in Texas. One of the students was very brave. They made the floating ship and they mapped floating ship and they did the background. So like floating ship in the front and the background, and then their projection mapping. Sometimes I teach kids, and this was in the New Mexico. I asked kids to do create the cardboard box using the recycle the cardboard boxes and create the robot, and then collect any images from the internet about what you like, about your town, what you're proud of, what your favorite, whatever you like, and then use contents and then create the robot. And then this was New Mexico. I have another robot. This was created in Mexico. So this is kind of like adult teenager version. This is a kid's version. So you can tell a little bit. This one is like a lot of fun. Burgers here, flowers here. This one is a little bit more serious, but I embed all the students' faces inside here. Another one, so I teach LED mappings. This is just like a miniature version of my installations. So what I teach is, if you are able to make anything small, it's the same logic. You can expand it to bigger versions. So I teach small one here. Everything they learn here, they can apply to a big installation like I did. So sometimes I do like a specific, like a 1 week intensive workshop. And then this one was a part of the festival. So whatever they create, and it will be a part of the festival. So this was, I work with this, university students for 1 week, and I create the small version of what I say. And then this one was part of the festival. So they learn from the beginning and the end how I do it, and then they would do it together as my assistant, and then we were creating the. It's a part of the workshop, but it's also part of my artwork to present. So it was a combination of both. Yep. Yep, that's it. Thank you so much. And then I'm almost 10K in the Instagram. If you can help me follow to hit the 10K would be fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you so much. If you, I guess you could leave your Instagram up for a little while longer, and then we could switch over to sharing screens so the students can come up to their professor's station and ask you questions, and you can actually see them, and they won't be little. So thank you so much. I'm going to open up the questions to the class, and I think Professor Miller is going to be able to obviously pick the students in the room that are interested in speaking with you. I wanted to thank you specifically for talking about your trajectory of immigration, and then also about the dedication to longevity. I think it's a little interesting to me how your practice mirrors what you were able to do in your personal life. You came to the United States, you had to work because of all sorts of economic, but also green card concerns. And you had to put, and I don't want to say it in a pejorative way, your art dreams on the back burner. But they weren't forgotten. You were working the long game. And I think that's seen in your practice as well. You know, you're building these things and then you're coming up against issues like interactivity, limitations of your audience, but also, you know, COVID happened and you had to pivot again. So I think it's really interesting to hear an artist talk about longevity and pivoting and all the kind of work that goes into that. And maybe that's why you're so patient and technology doesn't frazzle you. You just have it in you to get it done. So thank you again for your presentation. And I'm going to ask Professor Miller if there's any of the students in the class who want to pop up to the screen and ask Chika about her practice. That'd be wonderful.
Can I ask questions first? I have questions, and I'm right here in front of the screen. I'm always, it's all about me. When you made this like transition from projection mapping to doing all this LED work, was it because of was it about that the pieces seem like more immersive when they're in person, or was it just like with projection, you need big expensive projectors in a dark space and it's like difficult to, you know, prototype and make it happen? Or was it just the way your work like naturally evolved?
Naturally evolved, and also excitement I had, because I have been doing the VJs and projection mapping, and then I got jaded. I'm always looking for something interesting, and then after I'm doing all this VJ work and the projection mapping work, and then like when I saw new technology came in, and then I was able to make LED work, I just jumped in. It's same as the AR works too, you know. It's I have this like something, I start doing it and then I get tired of it and I look for something, and then that excites me, stays there till excitement stays there. But it's like it's all along with the same technologies, you know, photography to design to project VJ to a projection mapping, LED and AR. It's all connected. And then I see everything as a one, and it's just like a different technology, but it's the same thing. I'm trying to express myself. It's the same thing. How do I connect people and drop into my artwork? And then now my big thing is the fusion. Something you cannot see and the seeing is combined together. And then that's also educational LED installation is a part of it too. Like without knowing that you're learning something. That's similar to LED and then AR combo.
Fun.
Yeah.
I'll ask one more and then maybe some of them will come up. So the class that's in this room is a creative coding class. So they're all nerds who are in here. So I think they would be curious, like we're going to do a Mad Mapper demo next class. And is that how you do the LEDs also? Like, is it all through the same? Can you sort of, because we're going to do projection, but we don't have any LEDs. Like maybe if you could like vaguely explain the process.
Projection mapping and LED is a little different. Projection mapping, you only need projectors, right? But LEDs, you need one more hardware, controller, and then LEDs. And the LED has a major two different types. One is, for example, LED. how do I explain this? LED has, okay, lights. Lights is on and off, right? And they count as one, all right?
Mhm.
LED, there's two types, addressable and then not addressable. Like a whole strip turns on and off, count as one.
Okay.
Yeah. And then there's another one, addressable was pixel by pixel, right?
Okay.
So it's different kind of laying out of the layers in the LEDs. I don't know, I'm explaining it well, but
I thought it was perfect.
yeah, but it's like this. You make a layers and the video goes through the LEDs over it.
Oh, interesting. So it could be anything. So it's almost the same process. It's just
Yeah. Just the different laying out of the where the pixel goes.
Mhm.
So like LED projection mapping is one box, right?
Right.
So inside of one box has either one pixel or tons of pixels, and then video just goes through it.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Does anyone have questions? Someone should. It feels like you do. Do you want to just come back here? It's super fun in this back row.
You know, it was very hard to talk with seeing the people's reactions. Next time I do, I need to see a people's face. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had different requests we've had different requests from different visiting artists. Some people want each student on their own box. Some student wants to see some speakers want to see the whole room. So it's interesting that everyone has their comfort with virtual speaking.
Yeah, because I feel like I'm speaking for nobody, you know. If I see like a reaction of it, I should have asked these like two of you has faces there so I can see the reactions. Yeah.
Right.
I think it's coming from performing artist part. Yeah. Because I change this based on the reactions. Yeah. Sorry for making you wait.
No, it's okay. Thank you so much for presenting today. Your work is so cool. I was wondering if you could speak to maybe like your audience and how like generational differences might impact like who is more interested in your work, I guess. Like when you have these installations, do you find the younger people more open to it and more
you know, for example, the installation takes different space. For example, I have this open space outdoor, anybody can come, right? During the day, a part of the festival. So like all generations. For example, New York Hall of Science, kid space. So a lot of kids. Exportorium, San Francisco is a, during the day, kids, they have a specific night, adult. So it changes. So, and then I also create, my goal is, I don't want to, all ages, my art for all ages. But like when I do BJ work, very specific because audience is very specific. You know, when I work with 8-bit music people, you know, very particular audience. And then DJ Leica is a banga music, club music, very specific. Yeah, people come to dance, people knows about the genre of the music. So yeah, I will make for the each environment, each space. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Thanks. Who's next? I saw more hands. Come on back. They're coming.
Okay.
Hi.
Hello.
So I was curious if you put all of these huge installations together yourself and how you like got the materials and if it was like 3D printing or there was some stuff that looked like almost acrylic. So
which one do you want me to explain? Pick the installations, like I can explain to you.
Well, the one that I like specifically was thinking about was like that box that you had with the circles inside it with the LEDs. It was kind of smaller. Like those look like almost like acrylic panels.
Yeah, you're right. So those are I developed for the way I met Rose. Actually, it was a part of the Bronx Museum residency, kinda art. I don't know. That's what they call those. Anyway, so my studio back then had the 3D print. So like I made the edges by laser print, and then I put it together by myself. And then a couple years later, I had a residency at the SVA School of Visual Art, have the very specific, like all this residency. I was able to access to laser print, so I made it better version of it. So those are actually laser cut edges.
For like the really, really big pieces, do you put those together by yourself?
Yeah, or do everything by myself.
Oh man.
Everything by myself. Only thing I don't really do is the interaction part. Like for example, leap motions programming to come into a mapping map mapper. That part I always ask my friend, you know, but I buy camera and everything. Like I do everything because my budget is very limited, and then like equipment's expensive, and then keeping all this in the studio is expensive. So I pretty much do everything. And then, so my goal is larger one. It looks large, right?
Yeah.
But it's modular. So for example, large installation like a star, it was like 6 feet high, almost 10. But it's everything goes to like 8 feet, something like that, 6 feet. It's like you can like put it together. And then I make the connection. That one was I used the pipe, and everything was rope inside to create the shape.
That's really cool.
So I have a large pipe, right? The inside hub is hollow, empty. So we go through the wire or rope, whatever, and they tie them up. So it creates a shape, just like a little toys. And I use the magnet toys to create. I'll show you magnet toys. Do I have magnet toys? So the whole idea is everything is same shape, like everything is same shape, right? And I have a magnet here and create the so this is the idea. You can make large scale stuff, but it's modular. So this is connection. I make a connection as the metal sometimes, you know, to connect with the screw or wire, anything. So like create the like a modular structure. That's why my installation is geometric. It's easy to put it together and to create the shape. Larger ones, yeah. And then smaller ones, pretty much the acrylic with a laser cut. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love the getting up, climbing on a chair, and pulling a magnet set out of some magical spot up there. And also, you can tell that you have experience with projecting and video as you used your own hand as a backdrop, so you can make sure that we could see it. I appreciate your understanding of lens-based issues. This has been really fascinating. I'm not sure, Josh, is there any other students that want to come up and ask some questions? Yeah. Or yeah? Oh,
one right here.
Right, do it.
Do it.
Hi. So how did you first find out about projection mapping? Like, how did you get into that?
Okay, so when I was working, right? I was working during the day and then night, pretty much. It's a different time than now because you guys don't have these things. But when I was like your age or older, 30s, whatever, I used to go at clubs, wherever the projection was, the clubs or like performance, like 3-4 times a night going out. I'm sorry. Go back to your question again. Can you ask me again? Sorry.
How did you get into projection mapping, and how did you learn, like, get inspired to do that?
Right. So start going out and then going to the places, had the shows, and then getting to know people. And then I tell them, like, you know, I want to do it. I want to do what you're doing. Can you teach me? or like, where can I find more? So I start talking to people whenever I'm going out, right? And then whenever I was going out back then, wherever I go, same people hanging out in the different locations. It was a small community. And then that was expanded to the international. So I start performing local, and then I start going to the international festivals. So that was another like hub to meet the international people doing the same stuff. And then technology was advanced. So a festival, especially, like they provide the workshops, right? So I was going there as a BJ, live visual performance as a BJ. And then that festival, in the international festival, was showing how to do LEDs. So I was jumping to the LEDs. I learned from there. And then that's how I, just progress. Going out a lot, meeting people, local community, build it up, and then they teach me how. That was my kind of the schooling.
Oh,
And
okay.
then jumped out the it wasn't a school, but there is a community.
Yeah.
Like a meetup kind of stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then going to the festival and then learn and then bring it back. Just like what you guys doing. Going to school, learn new skills, and apply it to your own practice.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank
The
you.
same process. Yeah. Just follow your curiosities.
I enjoyed you getting lost in your club day reverie there for a moment, but
I know I got excited. Sorry.
I think
It's a different generation too. So I was like a little bit of a, yeah.
I think no matter what generation is, I think the idea of joining communities and meeting like-minded people and going out to see what you're interested in, right? If you like something and you go check it out, you're going to meet other people that are also checking out something because they're enjoying it. And so I just think that's a great way to kind of pursue things outside the classroom. Not that Professor Miller isn't the kind of pinnacle of all of this, but there are other people out there.
It's basically a club in here in this classroom. It's basically a club.
It's a lot. It's all girls.
Well, there's a couple dudes.
I want to thank you, Chika, for spending your morning with us and for sharing your work and being so open with your practice but also your personal trajectory. And I want to thank Josh Miller for hosting us in your class and being a part of this lecture series. This lecture series is kind of the brainchild of our Dean's office. We're really looking to bring people from different aspects of the world and also people with different interests in their practice together to our students. And so it was really wonderful that we could dovetail your interactive practice with Josh's class. And we hope maybe we'll have you back again because I think your work is really relevant to a lot of what's going on. And I just can't thank you both enough for making this so seamless. It is lovely to do a virtual lecture series with people that know how to use technology. So this all went very smoothly. So thank you very much. And for those of you who are watching on YouTube Live, this will be posted and recorded and will live on the Art and Design YouTube channel. So if anyone in the class wants to share it with somebody else, you can. And obviously Chika shared her Instagram account with you. I can't speak highly enough for how much social media, especially Instagram, is a tool for artists. It's a great way to communicate and a great way to kind of see work that's out there, but attach yourself to them by commenting and following and so on. So thank you very much, Chika. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone's clapping again. You can't hear them, but they're all clapping.
I can't hear you. I can't hear. I want to see them if I can, but.
Can you turn them around?
Well, they can all, they're about to leave. They can all walk right past they can walk right past the computer.
Okay.
Yeah, just do a parade, but they'll all, here they come.
Bye. Oh, good.
Keep walking by a lot of times.
Bye. Bye. Oh, good.
Oh, here
This is
comes
good.
a tall one. A tall one and a small one.
All one.
Small.
All right. Thank you. Bye bye. Oh, yeah. His face was cut off. Yeah.
I like
All
this
right.
parade.
Bye-bye.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, I like it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's most. Some of them are too shy to walk by, but that was.
Thank you, Josh, for
Thank you very
facilitating
much.
the parade. Thank you,
Jess.
Chika.
Nice